To all my Pascal gamer friends, it is safe to upgrade now. This is like common sense. The more GPUs you buy, the more money you save. That's right. The more GPUs you buy, the more money you save. Work with me here. The more you buy, the more you save. That's right. Work with me here. The more you buy, the more you save. This is not a complicated talk. There are only two messages I want to deliver today. One of them is the more you buy, the more you save. Okay. All right. There'll be a quiz at the end. There are themes in this conference. That's right. The more you buy, the more you save. Okay. This front row's got it. The more you buy, the more you save. You buy, the more you save. It's incredible. This is not a complicated conference. The more you buy, the more you save. You guys know the drill. The more you buy, the more you save. That's right. The more you buy, the more you save. Enable people to buy more GPUs and save more money.
Hello, and welcome to the Finny Games. It's your host, BBG, aka BrokeBlackGamer. So today I wanted to talk to y'all about why the 80 class cards don't feel like 80 class cards anymore. I just got off the phone with Jensen, and he was telling me that it was safe to upgrade. He was telling me that the more you pay, the more you save. And I was like, that's a pretty basic business model. Okay, cool. So I went on and I trusted Jensen. He's a close friend of mine. So I bought the 4080 Super. And when I bought the 4080 Super, I was like, man, Jensen's a beast. And I bet you this card is going to run just as well as a 1080 Ti did, as a 280 Ti did, and a 3080 Ti did. I was like, this is going to be that middle ground card I wanted. I don't need to do any research. I won't do any due diligence. I am a blind NVIDIA fanboy, and I'm going to go buy this card, and it's going to be the best card that the world, especially me, has ever seen. And it's going to be great. That was my mentality when I bought my 4080 Super. So I made a video not too long ago called The 4080 Super is Obsolete. And what did I mean by that? I meant that compared to the 4090, it's a piece of trash. 3090, for example, was pretty relative to the 3080 Ti. If you look at the specs, you can see that yes, the 3090 is significantly more powerful. It features more VRAM, more cores, etc., etc., etc. But in terms of gaming performance, the 3080 Ti was pretty relative to the 3090. When you look at the 280 Ti and you look at the RTX Titan, yes, again, same thing. But in terms of gameplay and performance, even still to this day, the 280 Ti was powerful enough to keep up and be on par with the RTX Titan. Again, with the Titan X and the 1080 Ti, we see a similar thing here. We see that of course, on the spec sheets, the Titan X is a lot more powerful than the 1080 Ti, but in terms of gaming, the 1080 Ti was able to keep up. There was no 4080 Ti, but we had a 4080 Super, so I believed it was going to bridge the gap. But it is nowhere even close to the 4090 performance. A lot of averages in games show that it is about 30 to 40% more powerful based on the game you are playing. And this sucks for me because this 80 class card was a perfect enthusiast card for a person who did not want to pay an extra band on a more powerful GPU. That was the enthusiast, and obviously more GPU for in terms of gaming anyways. So I always like to be at that one card that was right in the smack in the middle. And this generation, for the 4000s generation, would have been the RTX 4080 Super, except it was a 480 in disguise. Again, I did not want a 4080 in disguise as a 480 Super. It was a super discount, but it wasn't even that super discount. As the dude from Nexus said,
back to maybe closer to expectations. And that makes the price reduction of the 4080 Super feel like some kind of Stockholm syndrome. It is kind of a good thing, and the value certainly improves, but it's also difficult to praise something that has moved from complete insanity to moderately deranged.
The 80 class cards now to me feel like a free trial of a true enthusiast high-end PC. As opposed to what they used to feel like. So for example, when I played Space Marines 2, I needed, for the 4K texture pack, I needed 20 gigabytes of VRAM. I didn't have 20 gigs of VRAM. I had 16 because they gimped it just enough so that next generation you would have to, or the next couple of generations, you would have to upgrade if you wanted that enthusiast experience. And we know that NVIDIA killed us. They killed us people that wanted a cheaper enthusiast experience. So they look now at the 80 class cards as the poor man's experience of having a 80 class card. You're not really getting the 90, but it's kind of like a free trial. Just when things start to get amazing, just when you want to turn on path tracing, ray tracing, or you want to have, and I know that the 4090 struggles with it too, but at least you can have playable frames. At least you have enough VRAM to get it to run. And with this 80 class card, we don't even get that. It's just like, just when we start getting our feet wet in these 4K enthusiast levels of performance, our GPU is gimped just enough so that we're forced to buy the 4090. Your free trial is over. So that's what it feels like to me, having a 4080 Super. And that's why I said it was obsolete, because if I wanted to play 4K ray tracing, path tracing, all that, it was a brick. It was a potato. And that's the year it came out, because again, it was a 4080 in disguise. So that's what I meant by that. Like, to me, that feels obsolete because I didn't buy this to play in 1080p or 1440p. That would be silly. Why would I buy an 80s 80? Why would I buy an 80 class card for that? Like an 80s card, that's more like. But like but that's just something I wanted to clear up from that last video. I bought this because I am a broke PC enthusiast. A broke PC enthusiast. And because I'm a broke PC enthusiast, I want enthusiast levels of performance. That's all I was trying to say. And yes, I am a broke gaming enthusiast. So I do not want other people to pay X amount of money for 5080 16 gigabyte or a 4080 Super 16 gigabyte or a 4080 16 gigabyte, thinking that they're going to get that level of performance that they got when they had a 3080 Ti or a 2080 Ti or a 1080 Ti or a 9080 Ti. I don't want y'all to go on your next upgrade, even though it would be great, but you would not get what you are used to. And you would really have to buy that 90 class card if you're looking for that level of long-term performance, because they killed us. They didn't want there to be a uh, uh, average friendly enthusiast PC card anymore. That really made the 90 class / Titan class pointless to begin with. So they've cut down and they've gimped these 80 class cards now, and you're not looking at that same incredible value that they used to bring. So I just wanted to warn everybody, especially people like me who took a long break from gaming and they didn't know any better because they thought they were personal friends with Jensen, because I did, because he sounded so personable. And apparently, like, he sold me a 480 Super, a 480 disguised as a 480 Super. Like, that's messed up, Jensen. And I know I shifted my research, but when your friend tells you to do something and to jump off a bridge, you do it, and that's what I do. Okay? So don't come at me, man. And yeah, that's all I have to say for today. So for today, the Finny games are over, and Jensen and I will be having a talk.